Hi there, Serial Trader here. Let's have a look at the major US indices and starting with the wave chart of SPX. So our wave 3 bottom last week, as I've labeled it, that came in at 2710.51. So just kind of finding some initial support around that 2700 area. Now we've had the requisite oversold bounce up in what I'm labeling as a wave 4. So we got a 1 down, 2 up, 3 down, now 4 up, complete or nearly complete. A Fibonacci retracement of this entire wave 3 from the origin of wave 2. We had 382 retracement level and the 50%, the two common wave 4 levels. Right now we're right in between those two levels. We're also right up here around that daily T line. So quite a decent, typical place to find resistance and now start rolling back over for what could be a wave 5 down here of a larger one or a. At this point, we don't know the context of this 5 down, but very likely that we do get another leg down. That's the bottom line from a trading perspective. And I just want to show you the futures because if I go to say the 30-minute chart, I mean this obviously looks like a corrective move. It doesn't look like a trending move up, but it's not super clear. Kind of looks like we have a little triangle in here and now coming out, but it doesn't label that well because of the overnight action and the gaps, etc. But I have a solution for that because things were moving so quickly and trending so hard. The overnight futures actually gave quite a bit of good price data to analyze. And down here is where the overnight futures made their wave 3 low, equivalent to what I was showing on the cash index there. And this labels quite well. So we had an initial move up, that initial bounce, and then we had, I'm labeling after an A, and then we had an A, B, C, D, E, contracting triangle, wave B, and now thrust out of the triangle for wave C, and within that maybe a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, and now possibly topped and rolling over here. It's pretty early, but so far we've rolled over a bit, came up, made a lower high, and now just kind of churning, overnight here, not much action, but there's a significant chance that we have a top here in the futures, and that's at 28, 24, 25. So right now I do have, I've just been building a little short position on the ES futures, selling, a contract here, contract there every time it looks like it's kind of finding a peak. So I'm building a position there. Right now the stop's currently pretty tight. I have it just above this high here at 28, 24, 25. So I think I have my stop at 28, 25. So very tight risk. If we come up and stop out, not a huge move, but if we do get the breakdown I'm looking for, it could pay off, significantly. And that's not the only position I was building. So just go back to the cash index there. Yeah, so I think I've basically laid the plan out here. Once we do have our fifth wave down, whenever we bottom, after that we'll have some sort of requisite larger, 3-wave advance, corrective advance. But we'll get to that once we're there. Let's go to the Thinkorswim candlestick chart. And I want to point out, during the uptrend, the T line basically acts as a natural support level, and then during a downtrend, the T line acts as a resistance level. And you can see that after this huge spill down, we came up, and look where we're finding some resistance right at that T line. We also did a hanging man candlestick today, so that's a bearish candlestick. Obviously, we need confirmation. We need to actually start rolling over here, but hanging man candlestick at the T line. I was showing you that Elliott wave pattern on the futures. That looks quite mature. A triangle BC up. We're right in that Fibonacci zone that we'd expect for a wave 4 bounce. So this is looking ripe, very ripe for another decline down here, okay? So another thing, I've been averaging in some SPY puts. Currently have 16 SPY put contracts. 290 strike puts, December monthlies, okay, so 64 days to expiration, and I'll buy some more of them tomorrow if we get another little pop up. I really think that we're gonna have another leg down, so I've been averaging in. So currently long 16 290 SPY puts. I also bought some VIX calls November, so the November monthlies there. 17 strike VIX calls, currently have 20 of those. Might add tomorrow again if volatility comes down a bit, but my key message here is I'm getting positioned for another leg down, a bearish move, right? So I think that's good for SPX. We'll go to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And Dow, similar situation. Basically, we just come up in a corrective wave. Looks like a 1, 2, 3. This is also a 4 up for the Dow. Again, finding resistance at the T line. Very similar structure to SPX. So I expect the Dow to roll over down with the S&P there. Go to the NASDAQ composite. And okay, NASDAQ composite. Similar, so we got a little bit above the T line on the NASDAQ, but not by a whole lot. And I do expect, well, you see we have this 1 down, 2 up. Clearly a 3 down. The NASDAQ had the strongest wave, 3 down. So maybe it's only natural that it also had one of the strongest bounces, as it's just a more volatile index in general. But that being said, this retracement, again, we're right in between the 382 and the 50% retracement for this third wave down on the NASDAQ, right? Just clear up some of those levels. So NASDAQ just bounced right to where it would be expected to. So it's also in a position to roll over. Okay, let's go to the VIX. VIX, there we go. Yeah, so VIX definitely broke out into a new uptrend, which is bearish for stocks here. Now VIX pulled back. Looks like VIX made a higher low quite comfortably. If today wasn't the low of VIX, perhaps tomorrow will be. And then looking for another spike up in VIX with an equity decline. So that's why I bought some of those VIX calls. All right, so that's just a little midweek market update. Definitely looking to find a peak here off this bounce and roll over, probably quite soon, possibly tomorrow, but you know, the exact timing hard to say. I mean, there's a reason I bought, you know, November VIX calls and December SPY puts. I want more time than I think I'll need. So even though it might happen the next day or a few days or next week, you know, I bought a lot more time than that just in case she wants to churn a little more before it rolls over. All right, that should be good for now. Serial Trader signing off.